Today is a very special day because we are traveling down to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for the debut of the newly refreshed Verbolten. I am beyond stoked for this moment. Verbolten's actually my favorite coaster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And I'm so excited to see all the new changes. And so today is a vlog as we enjoy the park, focus on Verbolten, and just overall have a good time today. And we are here. After an hour of getting through that insane gauntlet of cars, we are finally in the parking lot. That is one thing that definitely needs to be upgraded here at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I know this park is very popular, but an example is I never had to deal with that kind of congestion at any of the Disney parks, which get basically more than triple what Busch Gardens does in a singular year. So there has to be some way to fix that. I mean, it got so bad, they gave up with trying to toll people for parking and just let everybody get in because the congestion was just so bad. What made it even worse was that it was because the tolling process was the slow part, because there wasn't a line of cars after the tolls to get to a parking spot. It was just the tolls themselves. So hopefully something in the near future. I know that's going to be a gauntlet to try to figure out how to really improve efficiency by potentially having to make a second entrance or just redesign the toll booth. So I know that will be a huge investment, but I really think that's an investment they should go into, because only Busch Gardens is a park that I've ever been to where I've consistently waited an hour in my car just to go from the exit of the highway to getting a parking spot. And this has happened multiple times at this park. But with that out of the way, it is time to head to the park and go wait in a very long line, but well worth a new experience on Verbolten. And later on, the crew will be joining us as well. So everybody's going to be here today. Something I never realized until parking here in the Germany lot is back then you used to be able to cross the road here into France back that way. But they've gotten rid of that because now this bridge, which used to be tram only back before COVID, and now they've permanently made a path entrance to walk. So either you can take the tram, which is still a tram bridge, and it's honestly nice to see the trams working again. It's just a beautiful sight to behold. But they've designated this part just for walking. So this is how you can now walk to the park from Germany, as you no longer cross over. As I was mentioning before, these are just the cars coming in. They're just letting people in, or they were at one point, now they're not. So I generally don't know what happened. They went from letting everybody in to now it looks like they're actually tolling people. So I generally don't know what happened. They just started waving everybody in at one point, and now they're back to not. But regardless, there has to be something to kind of fix this parking situation going on, because it is so fascinating. If it were like a one-time thing, I would understand, but I think that's like my 8th or 9th time ever coming to Busch Gardens and having to wait an hour just to get a parking. Wow. I will never get over how gorgeous this entrance is. It's so quaint, yet very, very beautiful. What a way to enter a park. Line to get to security. Holy smokes. We are now in the park. Stopped by to get my GoPro card, because here at this Busch Gardens parks, unlike the ones in Florida, you do need this. So if you're familiar with the SeaWorld parks down in Florida, there you just put your GoPro on the ride operator is checking, good to go. But at this park, make sure you stop at guest services to get your GoPro certification card before taking your stuff on the rides, as they are very strict here with making sure if you do not have this, no loose articles or even mounted cameras can be on the ride with you. Let's go ahead and go get ready to ride Verbolten. I also noticed that the roller coaster insider tour has returned to the park. That has been gone since COVID. I don't know if that's back this year or if it came back another year and I just haven't noticed. But it's cool to see that back. I have still yet to do it after all my visits to Busch Gardens. So hopefully maybe this year I can change that. Yes, the smoke has returned.
Ooh, there's fog in the car now.
Yeah, this used to be an effect that kind of stopped, I think, around 2018. Yeah, I love this. This is great. Look at the detailing. I love the vegetation. Yeah, I really love it. I do miss the music. This sign is incredible though. That is incredible. Look at that. Her arm moves. That's awesome. This is great.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I'm already liking what I'm seeing. This looks cool. It is nice to see a line moving pretty fast because they're using dual loading stations. It feels nice to see this again. This is how lines used to be growing up at Busch Gardens. Like Griffin's line used to move this fast back in the day. It's incredible to see. I like that they still play the older one kind of just as like fading in and out. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I like that, and I hope that the detail they keep where you have the old kind of pre-show experience with the old character Verbolten with the new one right there. I know, since you've been coming here since post-2020, there hasn't really been a lot going on.
Never seen much happen in this room before.
This is also your first time getting to experience true Busch Garden queue lines where we're just moving. This is what I grew up with in the teens, where like the line just never stops moving.
Yeah, so this is a first.
Like we didn't even have time to really appreciate the animatronic, we just kept walking, and that's a good thing. It should be that way.
Of course, and you're in for a fright. To avoid a conflict, just don't turn that. Did you memorize it? Don't turn around.
Broom is employee of the month. Everybody.
The broom is asleep. Nice. I like.
Move it to the end of the room. Have a seat and move the lap bar down over your leg. You are not bored.
So if we weren't waiting for front row, we actually would have gone on the ride and only waited 25 minutes for that entire queue line. 25 minutes. This is some of the best operations I've seen in a long time. I hope they can keep this up, and I hope that other rides can start doing the same. This is what I miss. But regardless, I'm just glad it's happening now. And props to Busch Gardens and the entire Verbolten crew for making this some of the best operations I've seen in a long time at a theme park that's not a Disney Universal park.
Save you, but you have to give me 5 stars. Now go on, back to the garage.
Well, I didn't really get a chance to film earlier when we first rode the ride, so we'll go ahead and film our reactions now.
Yeah.
Especially since sadly the ride just shut down due to some technical difficulty, so we won't be able to get a second ride or a rider cam footage.
Yeah.
But we did get a front row POV. Definitely check that out.
So good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looking back at the first ride, spoilers ahead, I was thrown off with the kind of comedic gesture that happens before the drop track compared to some of the spookiness that leads up beforehand. However, while we were waiting for our second ride, looking at the posters more, I can understand the more cheesy aspect of what they were going for. There is some things I would like to maybe enhance that. I think that what they should do is add a speaker by the little broken track before you turn right to go into launch that has her saying, I told you to not turn right.
Yeah.
And then you launch in. Because then it makes the finale where she goes, oh, all right, I'll help you out. Just give me a 5-star review. that would make a little bit more sense, because at least for me personally, that comes out of left field just a little bit. On a positive note, because there are some great stuff with this, that tree.
That is so
Holy
good.
frick.
Holy frick, that tree. That tree was phenomenal.
I also love the don't turn right whispers of her as you're approaching.
Yes.
That spookiness. And I like that they've added, she thinks wolf eyes, I think bad eyes. We don't know. Regardless, there's some sort of colored eyes after the drop before launching out. That is cool. So there's a lot of multitude of aspects of it that are good.
Yes.
A lot of it that I could have wished could have been done better. I think for me personally, as someone that's been riding this ride since 2013, prime Verbolten theming of the older version is still the best. However, I love what they have done in here, and I still do appreciate that they did their best to try to refresh it, enhance the theming, especially since the older theming was just hard to keep up with. So hopefully this can be a long lasting. Also love the audio, the music in there. So yeah, I really approve all the amazing queue line changes, stuff like that. I'll go more in depth in review. That was awesome. And happy tree friends. Time in its 9-year history, they actually did a full retrack on Invader. So not the 2-ply that they usually do on the final Helix, but the main turnaround of Invader, completely fully retracked. Wow, that was a noticeable difference. You could hear it in the sound. It was much smoother. There's definitely still some parts, primarily that turn before the drop, that could severely use some more retrack. But it's nice to see that we're starting to get that love and treatment to this ride, as due to the force of the ride, it's definitely starting to age, and that was really noticeable. That was great. I also appreciate that it was a full wood retrack and not a Titan track retrack.
Should I get, did you want first thing at Brazil?
Yeah. Whoa, that is very new. There's now a roofing over the lorikeet aviary. Wow, that looks very different. Oh gosh.
That was so good.
I still completely understand why enthusiasts have this as their favorite ride in the park and one of their favorite rides of all time. I think layout wise it's the best in the whole park, but subjectively and experience, I still give Verbolten the edge.
Oh yeah.
But that's just, especially in the front row, that's just pure bliss.
That was so good.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good ride. Yeah.
Our thing.
It's the first time in my entire life I've ever saw a chain up for the extended queue, which this was being used for a brief moment a few hours ago. Now the line is dimmed down. Oh, there we go, another things I never thought I would see for this queue line.
It's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Your smart such as cell phones and your supervisor should be facing what's in your podcast. Just ask the privatist. Put your head up, buttercup. Face forward. Keep your hands, arms, and legs.
Blake is just out the.
And forward.
That's why. They wanted us to go see the gnomes. Meet our happy tree friends.
Happy twee friends.
Happy tree friends. Sweet buddy, sweet.
Just notice the way they spelled broom.
Yeah.
What the frick? I just noticed the mop. What the frick?
The mop is staring at us.
Well, y'all, with my doggone iPhone, go ahead and end out this vlog here at Busch Gardens. So all day, even though not much was really accomplished, just because of not only the large level crowds, but sadly the operations, at least for Busch Gardens standards, were not met, in my opinion, which caused us to ride less rides then. And it has nothing to do with like Verbolten's technical difficulties. I'm talking about the other ones. But besides that, Busch Gardens is just a great park as always. And Verbolten, love the refurbishment. So great to come out and check that out. And just have an overall good time at Busch Gardens. Because again, as much as it is annoying the way the operations are of this park, I still really do love this park. It is definitely a destination.
Oh, definitely.
So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button to help this channel continue to grow. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, roller coaster fanatics, keep coasting.